What's up, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of the Sit Down. As always, if you enjoy this live video, please make sure you hit that like button, and then let me know what you think of today's discussion in the comment section below. If you're watching us currently live on YouTube, welcome in. I hope you enjoy the show. As always, make sure you say hello in the chat box to the right of the show. If you're new around here, you just haven't done it yet. We're living under a rocket, seeing this video for the first time. I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit the subscribe button below now so you never miss another sit-down video. Also, make sure you check out my latest video on former mob associate Joaquin. I felt like, to me, it was one of the better videos I've ever done. So make sure you check it out. A very interesting life Joaquin lived, and I urge you to check it out. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Happy New Year. New Year's Eve is tomorrow night. Make sure you are safe if you're going out. Make sure you live it up. Enjoy it. We only live once. But tonight, we're going to talk about yet another very fiery feud. And we've been waiting for Sammy Gravano to comment on John Jr. And let's just say he commented. We're going to go through what Sammy Gravano said. We're also going to go through an interview I did with him where he told a very different tune on what we already know about John Jr. In fact, I'm going to play that first, and then we'll get into what Sammy said today. He said some very explicit things about Jr., called him a joke, called him a bullshit artist, said his father would be rolling over in his grave. We really are going to see, I think, a war of words. And tell me if you thought this would happen. I'm sure I wasn't very surprised by it. Now Sammy has an issue with Patrick Bet David. They're no longer friends, according to Sammy. So a lot to get into, a lot to talk about. I hope you're having a good evening. I hope all of you had a great Christmas. Thank you for watching. Feel free to say hello in the chat. I'm going to start off with, though, what Sammy said on this show about whether he thought John Jr. was an informant. And then we'll see this tune that he's saying now, because he was very adamant about what Jr. is. And we'll go through the video. Bear with me. This is what Sammy said on an interview I did with him back just about 2 years ago. Late 70s is killing it the way you are on the social media. But I want to ask you quickly about Junior. Do you consider what he did a rap move to sit down with the government? What would his father say about that, you think? You heard about that, right? 2005?
Yeah. I don't want to, I say, I'm not the type of guy, I don't want to call him a rat.
Yeah.
Junior is, I know him well. He didn't belong in the life.
Yeah. Okay, so notice what he just said there.
Down and said, you're going to bring me some fucking money so I could.
Hold on. I want to ask you about being the Don of social.
And then, I mean, John tried, he shouldn't have been in. I want to call him a rat.
Yeah. I don't want to call him a rat. Well, he did today. Okay, so we'll go with what he said there. Now I want to play what Sammy said today. And we're going to go through this expletive-filled rant that he went on. It was definitely very, very interesting. Before we do that, though, if you'd like to support this channel further, please do me a favor. Hit that super chat icon, bottom of the chat box. Support the channel. Show love to what we're doing here as we head into the new year. It all means a lot to me. Let's do this. Let's talk about what Sammy said. He was presented with a question. I don't know if this was decided beforehand, but let's rock with it here.
He said Bobby Borrello was sitting where you say you were.
Yeah. The kid said a lot of things, and I got trapped into this conversation this morning with those people in Canada. Same question. Now, I got a couple of answers. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but I will. I mean, saying that I wasn't the creator of that, the organizer of that, and sitting in the seat where I was sitting, the FBI is lying. The DEA is lying. The New York State police are lying. There's a couple of people who cooperated and said the same fucking thing. I was there. Bobby Borrello may have been part of the hit, but he wasn't there, sitting in the seat. So it was total bullshit.
Well, hold on, though. Wouldn't he know who was part of the hit? Because according to him, he set it up. What do you mean if Bobby Borrello was part of the hit? You know he wasn't part of the hit. You set it up. This is what I don't understand about Sammy. Like, he wants to take credit for setting up the Castellano hit, but he doesn't even know who was there. Bobby Borrello wasn't a part of the hit, at least the 4 shooters. And as far as we know, he wasn't a backup shooter either. So that doesn't really make a lot of sense, Sammy.
That's all I could say. I mean, mostly everything he said, this kid, was bullshit.
Okay, so I love how he calls him a kid. I love how older people do that. This kid, he's like 60. John Jr. is like 60. This fucking kid. So he says everything's bullshit. Interesting.
What really has me angry, I don't want to fucking even bother what he says. It's so ridiculous. He says he barely knew me. When he got made, I'm the guy who headed the ceremony. I made him.
Yeah, and that's one thing about Junior I didn't understand. Like, why did he act like he didn't know Sammy? It's like, you know him. I mean, you were there with your father all the time. And Sammy is right. He made Junior. The night Junior got made in what was it, 1989 or an 88? And we know because Mikey Scars has talked about this. He was there as well. Sammy and Patsy Conti were the officiants of that, ceremony. And we've heard Junior talk about his father, was very proud of him that night. But Sammy was the guy. I mean, again, he was at the Ravenite. He was at the different clubs. He saw Sammy. Sammy was always around his father. So to say he didn't know him, I don't know. I don't know why Junior's trying to shade himself from not knowing Sammy.
When he became a captain, me and Frankie LaCasio went there and made him a captain. You don't know me? He said really ridiculous things. He says his father made him a civilian. There is no such animal. When you're a made man for life.
Listen, I'm not a big fan of Sammy's behavior, but he is dead on the money with this. Again, we have said this for years on this channel. The notion that Junior is a civilian is a ridiculous one. First of all, his father didn't make him a civilian. Okay, that's complete nonsense. You don't leave the life. Right now, there is a paper somewhere out there where every family, every made member's on that paper. You know whose names are on it? Sammy's, Mikey Scars, John Jr. It doesn't matter that they cooperated. It doesn't matter that they spoke to the government. It doesn't matter if they left the life until they die. And Curtis Lee was said this best. And Curtis Lee was kind of a jerk off, but he said this best. There's only 2 ways out of La Cosa Nostra. In fact, there's not. There's just one. A pine box 6 feet under. That's the way out. And Sammy's right. Until Sammy dies, his name is on a list somewhere. It doesn't matter that he cooperated. None of that matters. He is a made man until he is in the ground. Same with Junior. And this goes back to why what he said in that interview was so ridiculous. And I've talked about this, and we have banged the drum on this channel, on this very notion. And listen, Sammy's saying it. He's right. You cannot speak to the government. It doesn't matter what was said. It doesn't matter who agreed to it. All you're doing is passing the buck. None of that matters. You do not sit down with the government. You know what you say when the government comes calling? And what's interesting is the Gottis, and I give them this, they respect Joaquin. Why do they respect him? Because when the government came calling, you know what Joaquin said? Go fuck yourself. That's what you say to the government in these people's world. John Jr. didn't do that. It doesn't matter what you call it. You can call it a legal strategy. You can call it anything you want. None of that matters. And Sammy, I'm not a fan of what he does a lot of the time. But in this tune, in this particular statement about you don't leave the life, he's 100% right.
There's one way in.
Exactly.
You take the oath. There's one way out when you're dead. There's no way out. Now, a boss could break you from a captain down to a made guy. He could put you on a shelf. They cannot take away when you were made. You take away something that somebody went through and knows, then you kill him. If you want to take it away, he's dead. But there's no way to become a civilian. There's no such thing. Even Michael Franchise walked away. I heard him in a video. He said it. You can't walk away. You could walk away, but you're not a civilian. You're always a made guy.
Exactly. And this is the one thing that Sammy says during all this, for the most part, that I agree with. Okay. Look, we know there's no love lost between these two. But again, the notion of we're constantly passing the buck and not just admitting to what we already know about John Jr. We're always making excuses. Well, I did sit down with them, but nobody went to jail over it. Well, that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean anything. Nobody cares. I couldn't care less. I don't care if John Jr. put 100 people in jail. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that. The truth is, the 302s, which, by the way, Sammy said 2 years ago he didn't think John Jr., he's not going to call him a rat. He doesn't do that, he said. So Sammy does do a lot of hypocritical things in this statement. But as far as this statement about you can't leave the life, he's dead on the money.
You could be dying of cancer and you're upstate New York and you're somewhere. You're still a made guy, always.
Yep.
You never... There's no such thing as a civilian. And then he was talking about me, about that 16-year-old kid. I forget his name. Kaiser.
Yeah, this is Sammy. This is why people get annoyed with you. Right here. I forget his name. Come on, dude. You know what his name is, Sammy. I mean, listen, I know, Sammy, you want to pretend, you want to keep yourself off this, but it's like, come on, man. Seriously? Oh, I forget his name. Come on, Sammy. At least give the kid the respect. Say his name, for God's sakes. Sammy can't say Alan Kaiser's name. He won't do it. He just will not do it.
Now, he said, talking about his father, the guy had an accident and killed his kid by a car accident. The guy is a civilian, innocent guy, accident. He went to the house to try to apologize. The wife hit him with a bat. They chased him out. John Gotti told me himself, I'm going to take him out. I said to John Gotti, John, don't do this. Don't do it. Why, Sammy? Listen, it'll come out. It was an accident. It's not for the guy. I don't know the guy. But the people will fucking hate you for this. You can kill a guy because of an accident. And he admitted to it, John Jr. He said his father was a hero for doing that. I'm a villain because I shot some kid. I didn't shoot him. That's a lie too, but...
Again, this is the one thing where this is Sammy's kryptonite. I didn't shoot him. Sammy, it doesn't fucking... You were there. You were fucking there. That said, though, what he's saying here is basically that John Jr. or not John Jr., but John Sr., Favara was taken out. And how do you say that, he's a hero, John Sr.? Like, he's comparing what they both did. They both had innocent children or innocent people killed, and they make Sammy a bad guy for it, but then they root for John Sr., which I have to be honest, he's not wrong about. Both innocent people. Now, I've said before, and I got a lot of flack because people didn't listen to what I said. Alan Kaiser was a child. He was a 16-year-old child. Was he he was a young adult, right? Young kid. Both people were civilians, and you don't hear near the level of sorrow for John Favara's family. And I do think there are a lot of people on here that use Alan Kaiser's name because they don't like Sammy. And that's the only reason they bring up Alan Kaiser's name. They don't care about Alan Kaiser. Everybody that is killed by the mafia that is an innocent person, whether it's Alan Kaiser, John Favara, Nicky Guido, Dominic Rigucci, Mary Berry, Sherry Golden, doesn't matter who it is. Every single one of them, I feel, horrifically bad for their family. It makes me physically sick to think about people like this. Some people think they're heroes for the shit they did. They're all scumbags, all of them. And yes, I'm talking about John Gotti. John Gotti and Sammy Gravano are equal opportunity scumbags. They're both the same level of scumbag. You can't be a bigger scumbag than another. They're both scumbags. That's what I'm going to put out there. They both did awful shit. Let's also remember, John Gotti had a person called William Ciccone shot in the head, straight up. Kill him. Because he may have shot at John Gotti. We know beyond a reasonable doubt. It's likely that he didn't. He was just, in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I'm a villain. His father's a hero for killing. What about that guy's mother, father, sister, brother, wife, kids? What about his family? You want to talk about Kaiser's family? What about his family? Then he swore on his dead son's grave, John Jr. said. Now, that's horrible. Now, he did swear on his son's grave not to kill Willie Boy Johnson if he wouldn't cooperate. He wouldn't cooperate. He didn't cooperate. But as soon as he got out, he put a hit on him and killed him. So I guess his son's grave meant nothing to him. Another thing that meant nothing to him is when he was dying, the guy was going to come and give him his last rites, and he waved the more fuck God. Now, that you look what you just, John Gotti Sr. must be rolling in his grave over that thing.
Okay, Sammy, listen, Sammy's going to try to make a whole thing here that John Gotti's likely in hell, essentially, because John Gotti wolfed off the priest when he was supposed to give him his last rites. Yeah, we know, Sammy. You're the God guy now. You're all about Jesus. You've made your rights with God, and you're trying to be saved. Listen, Sammy, we've all seen through your bullshit religious rhetoric. Okay, nobody is taking their religious studies from you. Okay, we know you're just doing it as a convenience. Listen, Sammy, I hate to tell you, both you and John Gotti. Guess where you're both going to go? Downstairs. You know where that is? You don't want to go there. So, Sammy, save this whole, John's worse than me. Listen, you're both bad people, Sammy. That's the most important thing we need to remember here. The only people that should be looked up to in this genre, as far as these people, are none of them. Always remember that. There are definitely some, and I'm talking about these two people. I'm not talking about anybody else because everybody's different. But these two individuals right here, John Gotti and Sammy Gravano, they're let's just be honest, equal opportunity scumbags. They just are. Let's call a spade a spade. And Sammy, what makes him truly reprehensible is he's not saying, you know what, they're really bad for what they did. He's trying to belittle what he did as not that bad as what they did. This is this guy's thing. He cannot take responsibility for some of the shit he did. So he's trying to say, well, hold on. John Gotti did way worse shit than me. What about Favara? What about this? What about that? Sammy can't ever just say, hey, I didn't do that. He's a scumbag because he did it. You say there's always a tweet. There's always something we can go back to where Sammy says one thing and then does another. By the way, DJR005, thank you for the 30 Canadian, brother. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I can't get to everybody's comments, but I appreciate you all being here. A lot of good folks in here. Mikey Scars, what's going on, my man? Thank you for watching. Bob, what's going on, Bob? What's going on, Wells? Snake, what's going on? You don't forget the name of a 16-year-old boy you shotgunned off. Exactly. That's where it gets a little pathetic, that he just won't say certain things. No, I have no idea what happened to him. All right, let's get back to this. Let's keep going.
You showed that he don't give a fuck about God. He don't give a fuck about his dead son's lying about that. So this was, but what really pissed me off with this whole fucking thing was that Patrick McDavid did this interview.
Well, see, now Sammy's going to knock Patrick McDavid. Patrick McDavid is a fucking content creator, Sammy. He doesn't owe you anything. this is what Sammy does, and it is fucking brutally annoying. Sammy thinks if you interview with him, you do anything with him, you're fucking indebted to him for life. And you better get on your fucking knees and open your mouth when he says suck it. Or when he tells you to suck it. This guy, he did the same thing with me. I did an interview with him, and now I'm part of the Sammy crew, and I better do what I'm told. He's not a government a rat. He's a government witness. He's the Don of social media. You don't talk bad about our leader, our fearless leader. And now he's going to go on a bang-up job against Patrick Bet-David because Patrick Bet-David did an interview and he didn't ask Sammy what he thought beforehand. Listen to this crap.
Everybody knows there's 3 toes he ratted. Why didn't Patrick Bet-David fact check and talk to him about it? He came out and did a script. He told the story. He must have practiced it 100 times. Even when Patrick tried to interrupt once, he says, well, hold on, I don't mean to be disrespectful, and just kept talking. He was scripted with it. It was all bullshit. Everything in it. John Gotti, like I said, must be rolling in his grave, what he just did. And I look at it that he's mad at me because of the dad and me and our relationship and what happened. I could blow it off a little bit. But to go to the degree that he went through, it's disgraceful and disgusting. Matter of fact, he made his father look 10 times worse. He admitted that he lied about killing the neighbor.
Well, I don't know that he lied about anything, though. I don't think Junior's ever come out and said, yeah, he definitely did that. Do I think John Sr. was involved in getting rid of John Favara? Yeah, 100%. But Junior, what does he have to? Junior was like 16. Well, what does he have to do with that? That has nothing to do with him.
And he obviously there's all kinds of things that put me in that car. Why would the fuck would I confess to 2 fucking murders if I wasn't there and didn't do it? How would that help me? That I confessed to it and took the weight for it. But they knew it anyway. I didn't have to confess. They already knew. And they knew exactly what I did. There's tapes. The FBI, what do you think? They're fucking clowns? So I wish I didn't do it. It wouldn't be on my list. And it showed me how confessing to that made me better. It helped me.
Fat Irish 90 is saying that was the biggest softball interview. And I like Patrick Bet-David, but he didn't challenge him. He didn't fact check.
Oh, we know, because you've all been so upfront, right? And you should tell anyone about softball interviews. Sammy, you literally tell people what they can and can't ask you. So if anybody's all about softball interviews, it's you. Listen to how this woman talks. Oh, it was such a softball interview. Sammy, call a spade, Sammy. When I interviewed you, there were things I couldn't ask you, right? And Sammy, honestly, do you really think Patrick Bet-David's going to go out of his way to upset any guest? I guarantee 1,000,000% that before Sammy was interviewed the first time by Bet-David, because remember, that was the first time Sammy had ever spoken to anybody. It was on Bet-David. Do you actually think, folks, that Sammy didn't have a fucking laundry list? It looked like a fucking CVS receipt on what Patrick couldn't ask Sammy. And now he's going to actually sit here and talk about softball interviews? Seriously? And then you got this woman in the background who literally, I think if she could, she would marry Sammy. 100%. Listen to this woman. She is just, oh, boss, you're so great, boss.
Check him. He did nothing. He fact checked that the Rockefeller lady that came and said she was sex trafficked by Rockefeller. He fact checked her more. He was way harder on her. A sex trafficking
It's harder on everybody. I don't understand the thing.
So he's actually going to throw Bet-David under the bus. I can't believe this. Unbelievable. Sammy, what world do you live in? He doesn't owe you anything. You've properly been compensated by Patrick Bet-David. I'm sure of it. He doesn't owe you anything. He doesn't have to check with you to do interviews. He doesn't have to approve. He doesn't have to prove what you think before he interviews anybody. He could do what he wants. He owns his fucking channel, Sammy. You're a fucking nothing compared to him. Truly. Bet David's one of the biggest channels out there as far as what he's doing right now. And you think he's going to come to you and say, hey, Sammy, what do you think about the John Jr. interview? Like, really?
Here's what I think happened. I like Patrick too. I get along with him. I used to get along with him. Very good. I don't know more. I'm done with that. He don't know that. He might not know it on this interview.
So there he just said he's done with Bet David. He might not know it, but he's done with him.
But what he did was disgusting. Here's what I think he did. I think he did this interview knowing that it would break my balls. Everybody would see.
Yeah. The only reason he interviewed John Gotti Jr., a guy who no one speaks to really ever outside of 60 Minutes, the only reason he did it was to get at you. A guy who he also tries to have a business relationship with. What sense does that make? Sammy, we don't all live in the same dystopic, fucked up world you live in, where you just fuck everybody you want, and if you don't like them, we just kill them. We don't live in that fucking world, Sammy. We, a lot of us here, and definitely Bet David, are businessmen. Do you really think he works like that, Sammy? Seriously? He just is living his life to fuck you. What benefit would he have? What sense would that make? At all.
He'd get a couple of million views, right? Then he'd say, Sammy, come on down. I'll give you a platform and you can do that. So he gets another couple of million views off of me.
Yep. Wow, what a novel concept. A YouTube content creator is trying to get views. What a novel concept. Why do these, God, I'm sorry, guys. I need to control myself because I literally cannot fucking fathom this idiotic statement. And look, I like Little Snuff. I've liked Little Snuff. I've known him for a long time. He says this shit too. They're just doing this for views. Yeah, we are. This is what this is. That's the point of all this. Sammy, seriously, what on earth would he be doing it for? And guess what? He would be smart to do that. He's trying to get views, just like you. What a novel concept. We're on YouTube. He's trying to get views.
Hey, you're not using me that way. You deal with some other fucking gangsters who don't know how to think, who got their fingers fucking so far up their ass, they don't even know what they're talking about.
Oh, yeah. See, you're not going to get by on Sammy on that. He's too smart. Even though, how many interviews has he done with Bet David? Literally, this is a guy in Sammy Gravano who has literally done an interview with the fucking newspaper guy down the block. Like, he's done an interview with everybody. He's talking about, oh, I'm smarter than everybody else. You're not going to use me. What world do you live in? By the way, he did use you, Sammy, because the first interview you ever did, guess where you did it? Bet David. And guess how many views it got? Like 22 million. Something you have never done. So he used you again. I mean, Sammy, seriously, do you really think that you're going to get over on him? I mean, you've interviewed with literally everyone. You're literally resorting at this point, Sammy, to sitting on your channel once a week and only answering questions when they pay you. So who are you outsmarting? We can literally sit there and ask you whatever question we want. So what do you mean? He's not going to use me anymore. Okay, I'm sure he'll be real upset. He's already got everything he wanted out of you. And again, he's a businessman. That's what they do.
I'm getting disgusted with all these fucking bullshit things. But I think that's what he was thinking. But I didn't respond to Patrick. And I'm not have no intentions to. I was thinking to doing this interview with Anthony and a few other people. Even Michael Franchise said he walked away, but he even said in an interview, I saw it, and I'll use it whether he likes it or not, is that you can't walk away from the life. You could walk away, but you're not a civilian. You're always a made guy.
That we agree. He's 100% right with that. 100% right. And Mikey Scars is here. He'll tell you the same thing. Mikey Scars is that's not his life anymore. But until he passes away, his name is on a list. Straight up. Guys, I want to make this clear. Do we see who the motherfucking guy in this shit is? Me. 980 people here live currently on a fucking Monday at 10:33. Show love in the chat. Put your fucking hands up for the fucking Nadu. Put your hands up. We're having fun in here tonight. We're racking and rolling, talking, taking notes. Show me love. Hit that like button. What up, everybody? Thank you for watching.
And if you walk away and they decide to kill you, especially if you cooperate, that's what they do. But so the whole thing, all of these interviews, you know, the Mafia is a beautiful thing where people have stories and talk about them. I've seen a lot of people talk, and it was a pleasure to listen to, not myself, but other people. Now there's people here who are just, they're destroying the Mafia more than anything. The image of it. All these.
What does this mean exactly? This Mafia thing. It's a beautiful thing, according to Sammy. And everybody but me is destroying it. You know, it's never his fault, right?
Crybaby, lying bullshits back and forth. And most of them don't have a story. And they have this story.
This is another thing he says a lot of. They don't have a story, so all they do is talk about me. Well, I mean, all due respect, Sammy, anytime we see you, all you're doing is talking about other people. You know, remember when you told me, I'll make you suck my dick? Remember you told me that? Well, that never happened. And Sammy, again, remember, let's just be honest. What the fuck would you have if you weren't talking about everyone else? I mean, we all do this. This is what this is. It's YouTube. We talk about everybody else. That's how it works.
Stupid fucking plan. If I fucking say something about Sammy, he's going to answer. And now people will listen.
So stop doing it. We know you're going to fucking say it back. We know you have no control. Oh, they're just fucking with me. They know they're going to get a rise me. Well, then stop mentioning it. Stop bringing it up.
To me and him arguing back and forth so that they can build up their subscribers. Mm-hmm. That's as simple as that. It sounds crazy and fucking retarded, but that's what it is. That's what they're doing.
Wait, hold on. Real QGTM. Jeff, I threw you a like. I can't watch this. Well, thank you. What do you mean you can't watch it? Why can't you watch it? What's your beef? Or REL? I guess maybe you're not a fan of Sammy. I'm not really sure. But again, thank you for watching.
I'm disgusted with it. I really am.
You know, I hope it's okay that I say this, but a lot of people don't know that Patrick, and I want to check the timing on this. Patrick actually offered you a spot on his team to come co-host with him. I was there. I was at the table. I heard the whole conversation.
Okay, so why didn't that happen? Because again, like here's like this lady, she'll never say anything to knock Sammy, and that's fine. That's her, you know, she works for him, whatever. But like, you can't just throw this. Well, he wanted to work with us, and you know, we just said no. Well, why'd you say no? Like, what's the point in saying this right now?
The conversation happened several times because he kept pursuing Sammy. Sammy, out of the goodness of his heart, came down, did the whole election night thing. It was a blast. We love the way Patrick does, you know, has built this empire, and that's great. I respect the businessman and all that stuff. But if you're going to play with Sammy like that, I mean, you're a dad, you're a brother, you're a son, you're all these things. You shook his hand, you broke bread with him at the table.
What? I mean, these people, I'm really, I have to wonder. And I said this the other night about Bernstein. I mean, like he was possibly trolling on that video he did, but this has to be a troll job, right? I mean, she can't be serious. And he's not actually mad, right? She's talking about he's a father. He should know better. What? Know better about what? He's a businessman. His goal is to get views. They're taking it like Patrick Bet-David stabbed Sammy in the neck while he was walking in front of him. He literally just did an interview, and Sammy didn't agree with him interviewing him. And I cannot believe this businessman did this. Can you believe it? He has children. What warped world does this woman and him live in?
Well, why?
It's because of, I don't know why. maybe to goat me into doing a big interview with him again. Now, it's a good point. He asked me to come down. I not only brought Anna, I brought Anna's son, I brought my son, I brought another woman.
And let's ask ourselves, do we really think Sammy paid for that? You really don't think Patrick Bet David put that on his fucking dime? Sammy, come on. Let's stop acting like you're Mother Teresa because you flew down to Florida. So you didn't have to go. You could have said no. But why would you do that? That would have benefited you to go there. So of course you went. Let's stop acting like he made you go to Syria and join ISIS or something. Like, come on, Sammy. It's not. Let's stop pretending you're like your Mother Teresa.
He was working with 5 people to back him with.
You believe he made me get on a nice plane and travel all the way to Florida just to celebrate?
Show. Did he call me and tell me I'm doing this interview? I would have told him, okay, that's the business you're in. Do the interview. I'll give you all the fucking information you need. 302s, every fucking thing. But he didn't ask me. He just did it. And that's why I'm a little disturbed at that. More.
He doesn't have to ask you anything. Why? Am I crazy here, guys? I mean, like, is he being honest? What is he talking about? He didn't ask me anything. He doesn't have to ask you anything, bro. As you would say, come on, bro. He doesn't have to ask you anything, bro.
I'm listening to this kid. This kid did not even belong in the fucking life. I could have 10 people on this show.
Well, that's beside the point, Sammy, whether he belonged in life or not. I don't know if we agree or disagree on that, but there was a lot of people that didn't belong in the life. People you probably brought in. So, yeah, we probably chalk up that there were many that shouldn't. But who's to say that you belonged in life or anybody belonged in life?
Heavyweights telling you when John went to jail and made him an acting boss, nobody wanted to talk to him. Nobody even wanted to bother with him. It's a joke.
Well, listen, he's probably not wrong there, right? Do we actually think anybody, at least in other families, do we think that they were head over heels in listening to what John Jr. said? Probably not. I mean, we know beyond a reasonable doubt that other families were actively trying to take him out, including the Lucchese crime family. So, yeah, I don't totally disagree with that notion. Should he have been boss? No, of course not. I think that's crazy.
A steroid freak. He goes in to have his son go fight.
So there he calls him a steroid freak. Okay, so he's called him a joke, a bullshitter, a rat, a steroid freak. I'm not going to say he is or isn't. I don't know if he is.
What's his name? The black guy there. Mayweather. There's a problem in the thing, and they're saying the N-word. They want to fight with the. They're a bunch of jerks.
Okay, so I didn't understand this part of this, where Sammy begins talking about John Gotti III, and Junior makes him go fight Floyd Mayweather, which we know that didn't happen. As far as the N-word, I don't know what the hell he's talking about here. He may be referring to the fact that John Jr.'s daughter referred to them as zoo animals. We remember that after the fight. A lot of people, were very unhappy about that. And that was a disgusting, disgraceful thing to say. As far as like, what does the son have to do with this discussion? I calling him jerks. Listen, I gotta wonder, like, some of the part of this, I wonder, like, is Sammy just like getting a little old, and like what does this have to do with anything?
Anyway, they gave him a shot to earn. You should have just shut it.
Mayweather gave him a shot to earn. Like, he's in the mob. Mayweather gave John Gotti III's a chance to earn. Like, why does Sammy talk like this? He gave him a chance to earn. No, Sammy. They entered into an agreement to fight each other because they're both boxers. He gave him a chance to earn.
It's fucking bad. He lost the fight. The guy beat him on points. But that's them. You know what the problem the Gottis are? John Gotti was a tough guy. No question about it. There was nobody closer to him, not even his sons or anybody was any closer to him than me. We hit the fucking mattresses for years together. They think they're royalty because their last name is Gotti. They're not. I don't know.
Well, I have to agree with him there. There is a certain level of, we are something because our name is God. He's not wrong there. Again, that was their father. I respect it. It is what it is. By the way, Chris Capello, 1999. Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate you. Happy New Year. By the way, guys, what a fucking response today. We've got so many people in here, over 1,000 people watching live. I really appreciate it. If you're here and you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button. It takes literally 1 second to do so, and it means a lot. If you don't know what we do here, we talk about the mafia, organized crime, and we love it. We love doing it. So please hit the like button, subscribe. If you'd like to support our channel further, hit that super chat icon, bottom of the chat box. It means a lot. It's the end of the year. It's Christmas time. And we're having a good time doing it here. We're going over this Sammy, literally just destruction of John Jr.
I don't know what the fuck they think and why. Peter Gotti became the boss, a fucking jerk off.
Sammy doesn't like Peter Gotti. We knew that.
He's got 2 other brothers. One's a junkie, another one's a moron.
Yeah, see, this is where, again, I get off the fucking boat with Sammy on this stuff. Like calling people junkies. Like I know he made a really disgusting comment about Angel recently. And look, we haven't always seen eye to eye, Angel and I, but I mean, that was really disgusting. I mean, calling people junkies when they're not. Like, this is where Sammy really is a lowlife. I mean, doing this kind of stuff. And this like last 5 minutes is like really low level, low life shit.
And they think they're royalty. Shut your fucking mouth and go along with what your father did. What you're doing, you made a movie. It cost $10 million to make. You lost $6 million. You couldn't sell a $3 fucking DVD. Everything he's done is a fucking failure. Now you want to come out with your fucking speech.
Yeah, but Sammy, hold on a second, Sammy. So you're making fun of them for doing the Gotti film, which we all know it wasn't a good film, the Travolta one. But Sammy, are you really talking to us about failed productions? What the fuck have you ever put out, Sammy? As far as like that television show you were doing, that Salvatore show, what was that, 1 episode? Like, you know all about failures. Literally, don't you live in your office? Like, no offense, but you're kind of like going a little low here. You're making fun of the guy's kids, his uncle, or his uncle, his other uncles. You called his daughter some really pathetic things. Now you're talking about a failed film. I mean, Sammy, he got way further than you. I mean, what have you ever put out that worked? So, like, you're throwing stones in glass houses here.
About me and about your father. He's a warrior because he killed this guy. He's a legitimate guy who was in a car accident.
Yeah, well, you killed a kid, so you're even.
And you killed him after getting advice not to. And to you, he's Gunga Din. He's fucking the bomb.
Wait, what was that about? Wait, what? To you, he's Gunga Din? What is that? Gunga Din. What is that? What is Gunga Din? What is that? Hold on a second. Gunga Din is a poem by Rudyard Kipling. The term Gunga Din is the name of a Hindu water carrier for the British Army in India. The phrase Gunga Din is also used as a compliment to describe someone who is brave and has unexpected character. Wow, that's actually a pretty good pull by Sammy. Gunga Din. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. That's a great pull by him.
Doing that. What's my people are shaking that? What happened?
You're getting a lot of support in the chat, Sammy. Everybody's saying absolutely that was a softball interview. That
Well, of course they're saying that. They all want to blow Sammy. I bet Xavier James is in the chat, I'm sure. Let's see. Is he in there? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Xavier James. There he is. To be fair, I think Patrick is just finding the biggest mob guys that are willing to talk. I do agree it was a softball interview. We had to figure dick sucker extraordinaire Xavier James would be in the chat. What a surprise.
it was just bullshit.
Listen to this lady. It was just bullshit. What was bullshit? Oh, you mean like you? When you say, oh, you can't ask him certain things? Sounds like a softball interview to me.
Bullshit interview and allowing him to do that. I don't care if you do an interview with him, but fact check him. Get the facts. And I think he knew a lot of
Oh, right. Fact check him. Yeah, right. Because you're the king of telling the truth, Sammy, right? Maybe we should all fact check you. You know how they have that guy on CNN, the fact checker, Daniel Dale, the fact checker? We should have a fact checker for Sammy. Then again, there are plenty of them on here. You know, the hypocrisy of this is funny. You know, Sammy Gravano is telling all of us it's a disgrace that John Jr. didn't have a fact checker on his interview. This is the guy telling you that. The guy who literally can't tell you the truth on whether he tied his shoes this morning. Stifler's mom says, love your content. Thank you, Stifler's mom. I'm a big Stifler's mom fan. I was a fan of hers in that film. Thank you, Joseph. Joseph Bombancero. I appreciate it. Hey, Julie, what's going on, love? Thank you for watching. Kay Walker. It's because you're talking about Sammy, not you. Kay Walker, I'm not sure if you know, though, this is what we do here. By the way, though, if this is the Kay Walker who I think it is, shout out to you, my guy. I'm a big fan. South Philly till you die. I used to live in South Philly. Shout out to Kay Walker. Kay Walker, I didn't know you were a fan of this type of content. If you are, welcome. And this is really you. Shout out to you. I remember Kay Walker many years ago when I lived in Philadelphia. I was a fan of his music, a South Philly guy. Shout out to Kay Walker. Anthony Rucatano. Why is everybody still talking about this or give a fuck about all this all these years later? Well, probably the wrong night to come in here and ask that, Anthony. Oh, I don't know, because we're interested in it. If you don't like it, don't fucking watch. Anthony, who needs you? Don't watch.
Why he didn't want to fact check him is beyond. He was actually feeling sorry for him.
Yeah. Listen,
The kid said he dragged his son for 700 feet. Think about it, Pete, please, ladies and gentlemen, think about it. If you hit a kid by accident, first of all, you would go for the break right away. Even I would, immediately. Secondly, a mini bike is a big thing.
Pause this. Wells, what is your obsession with Carlo Jr.? I don't even know who that is. Wells, I don't know if you're like all I see is you in here talking about Carlo Jr. What the hell is that? Who even is that? Does anyone know who does Carlo Gambino even have a son called Carlo Gambino Jr.? I don't like. What is your obsession with finding out about who this guy is? I have no idea. And not for nothing, I don't even think he had a son called Carlo Gambino Jr. But all I see is Wells in this chat talking about Carlo Gambino Jr. What is the obsession or fascination with Carlo Gambino Jr., Wells? Amazing. Weird fixate. Yes, it is. I agree, Muhammad. What is up with this guy? I feel bad for Mikey Scars having to keep answering the same question. What is the fixation about Carlo Gambino Jr.? I don't even know who that is.
You mean to say that thing was under the car ain't bouncing around, going over this thing and dragging it 700 feet? Not a bullshit story. To make it more dramatic, the kid was dead. And it hurt the family, hurt the mother. He admitted on the fucking thing. A mother lost it, he says. My mother lost it. Yeah.
We know, Sammy, listen, it's interesting that you have so much care for the Favara family. If only you had the same care for the Kaiser family. Sammy, this is where, again, we can't get down or lay down with you on this, because you say one thing, which, again, very admirable. You want to feel bad for the Favara family. I agree with you. We do as well. But how come you don't have the same care when it comes to the Kaiser family? Think if you would, for 1 week, all the donations you make goes to them. Do you think you'd ever do that? Do you think you'd give one fucking $5 donation to them? So again, this is where we get off the boat with you. By the way, look at the thing. Pause. That's actually a funny shot of Sammy.
Years ago, I had said once she was a little cuckoo. John told me himself, my wife is out of her mind. He said it now. So what I said, you can't say that she's out of her mind because she lost her son. I get it. It's horrible. And if she lost her mind a little bit, I'm not mad at her. I didn't mean anything in any way. But now you said it. So what kind of an interview? And this is out of your mouth.
Yeah, K Walker, that's complete bullshit. He definitely paid him. Do you really think that's true, K Walker? They would never sit down with him for free. No fucking way. No fucking way. What would that make sense for? Just K Walker, think about it like this. No one's works for free. Very few people. Do you work at your job for free? I don't. I don't have one, but I do this. But if I didn't make money doing this, I wouldn't do it. K Walker, just like them. Trust me. I feel like I know Sammy and Michael pretty well at this point. They're not doing nothing for free. Okay, I'm telling you right now.
You want to talk about me?
Well, there are a lot of comments in Patrick's thread on that interview of how they agree. They're saying the same thing. You're gonna let him just say stuff like that and not say nothing? Like, everybody knows this. Like,
I'm surprised Patrick isn't calling me now.
He's real close.
Because he doesn't owe you a fucking thing. Why do you think you could just tell him what to do now that you interviewed with him once or twice, Sammy? It doesn't work like that. Just like you tried to tell me what I couldn't do if I wanted to do anything with you. And I told you to go fuck yourself, basically. I don't do that. Why do you think you could he needs to check with you on shit? And watch, this is what these guys do. There's another guy in this genre. He does the same thing. If you do a video he doesn't like, you're the worst person in the world. Fuck you, you fucking asshole. I had a guy, true fucking story. I had a guy call me that's in this life. I did a video he didn't like recently. Guess what he said he was going to do? He was going to put it out there that I was a chomo. That's what he told me. That's what these guys do. They're sick fucking people, some of them. They really are. They think you owe them the fucking world.
Quiet now.
He's real quiet to me. He would call me all the time. I'm surprised he's not calling me. If you see this, Patrick, call me. But it's not going to be a good call, Bo. We were friends for a lot of years. We're not anymore. My friend don't do that.
What do you think Patrick thinks seeing this? Like, oh my God, this guy's upset because I did an interview. He didn't like it, and now we're not friends anymore. What? This guy's like 80 years old talking like this. I mean, this is the same guy talking about friends. This is the guy who killed every friend he ever had. And he's talking about Patrick Bet-David didn't do an interview the way he wanted the interview to go. So no longer friends. Look at how he did with Ruggiano. He'd say to Ruggiano, you better not be friends with Mikey Scars, because if you are, you're not friends with me no more. Telling them like they're little children. Hey, bad boy, you better not hang out with him. He's not a friend of ours. He's not part of Little Rascals. The same guy telling you this killed all of his friends. Literally every one of them. Mormondo, fucking Mickey the Bat, his own brother-in-law, Shabetta. Who else? Louis Melito. Who else am I missing? DB. All of them. He's did it, all of them. He's talking about friends. Oh, yeah. This guy's the pinnacle of friend.
I wouldn't do it to you. The people who've been breaking my balls and I've been saying, no, he's a good guy. He didn't mean anything by it. He probably did. I'm covering for you. I'm tired of it. Everybody's asking it to me, and I'm tired of covering for you. You wanted fake news, you called the media? You're fake fucking news. That fucking interview was fake fucking news.
Whoa. This is getting contentious. Sammy's now saying that Patrick Bet-David is fake news because he didn't agree with the interview on Junior. What fucking dystopic world are we living in? Unbelievable. Christ Rosal says Gotti Sr. was racist. He used the N-word on many tapes. What does that have to do with his son, though? We all know he did that. We saw it. Yeah, good point, Don King. Thank you for watching, Don King. Don't forget, Sammy was juiced up before he was arrested and was training with Teddy Atlas. Good point, actually. Sammy, should you be calling anyone a steroid head? I don't think.
You're no better than the news media. Would you do it for viewers? You got 80 million fucking viewers. What do you want?
I love how they all use your name in their title.
I know.
Your picture.
Yeah. Oh, what a novel concept. This fucking lady chiming in from the background. This should show you. This is how dumb these people are that work for Sammy. Truly stupid idiots. They're total idiot people. Look at the title of this video. Live stories from Sammy the Bull. You're going to talk to me about fucking titling? What are you, 6,000 views? They should be ashamed. 625,000 subscribers. This video doesn't even have 7,000 views. You're talking about titling. Maybe you should take somebody's fucking advice, lady, and title this correctly. Yeah, the goal of this is to get views. Why is this so novel to these people? They don't understand anything.
Picture in their
My
thumbnail,
picture, my
their
name,
hashtag.
and then they get views, and people, because they think, let me hear this. Let me see what's going on. Is Sammy going to fight back? Is Sammy going to do this? No, Sammy ain't going to fight back. Sammy does what he does. I tell my story. Normally, you don't hear me talk.
Like, he's been sitting here for 32 minutes talking about another person. Sammy don't do that, though. He doesn't do it. He's not going to do it. Doesn't do it.
Talking about nobody. I talk about them. I always say that the Mafia was a good people, great people. I knew their families. I love them. I don't bullshit. For me to say you're a jerk off, you're a jerk off. Or at least I feel you're a jerk off. So I'm tired of this. I've been before Christmas, even my family members, my ex-wife, why would you allow that? People like that, friends, close friends.
Why would you allow that? Yeah, because Sammy has any bearing on what Patrick Bet-David does. Why the fuck did you allow that, Sammy? Oh, I don't know, because I don't control anything Patrick Bet-David does. Allow it. We're not in the mob anymore, Sammy. Why did you allow that to happen? Allow what? Who do you think you are? Oh, I'm not going to allow that to happen. Oh, come on, man.
Friends of mine. Why would you allow that, Sammy? Because they want me to react. Don't you understand? They're jealous of envious. You know, I was talking to the guy in Canada this morning, and I told him the same thing. I said, you know, you're becoming successful. Watch the way people change. And that's jealousy and envy. Nobody will call you up and say you're doing great. Then I spoke with Anthony, got on the phone, Anthony Ruggiano, and he's dying to do an interview with me, with him, because he knows.
Of course he is. Of course he wants to do an interview with you. He knows that you would have did it on Patrick. Now you're going to do it on his show. Come on, Sammy. I thought you weren't going to get used by these guys, Sammy. I mean, we're all here for the same reason, to get views. And of course, Ruggiano wants to do the sit down with you where you talk about Junior. He's going to get a bunch of views off it. He ain't stupid. But I thought you didn't get used by these people.
It's all about John Jr. Oh, yeah. The 302s, he ratted on Angelo, John's right-hand man, Angelo Ruggiero, and Joe Watts. Then he said, well, people I talked about are dead. No, Joe Watts is still alive today. And
yeah, but didn't you talk about Joe Watts? You called him a rat, Sammy. That's what you did. So again, Sammy just keeps digging a hole for himself where he tries to say, like, could you believe he went at Joe Watts? Well, but he went at Joe Watts. You know, he just keeps digging a bigger hole.
You ratted a long time ago. How did you get that fucking meeting with your dad in a fucking room?
Now, this is a good question. I have to admit, this is a very good question.
See how many guys who are in prison could get a personal fucking, you got a personal visit because the government was kissing your ass and put you in that room because they know you're a fucking rat. They don't.
But Sammy, here's what I don't get about you. On my exact show, I asked you, what do you think about Junior? Is he a rat for doing what he did? And you said, I don't call people rats, and I'm not going to call him a rat. Now he's a rat.
I don't give you no personal visit. When I'm doing time, I want a personal visit on a sneak. The government ain't doing that. Think about it. He's a stone cold fucking rat himself. And he wants to blame everybody for everything.
Thank you, Ryan.
Like a spoiled little brat. He's gonna eat apples off my head. Now I'm short. He wants to eat apples off my head. Let's come down and you know what we do? Fuck eating apples. We stand back to back like the old days. You have a gun in your hand. I have a gun in my hand. We walk 20 paces. The guy tells us to turn and shoot. We turn and shoot. Let's do it like a fucking man eating.
This guy is one sick fuck. Everything he talks about is, I want to kill that guy in the end. Look at him. Look at that photo. Look at that photo. He's talking about, I would have fucking kill him. I remember I asked him about butter ass to Chico. I'd fucking dig him up and shoot him. Remember Lee Cole? He said, if this were the 80s, I'd invited him in to Tallies and then kill him in Tallies. Look at him. He's sick. Everybody he talks to, he wants to just take out. 1,075 people watching live. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. Please, please, please say hello in the chat to the right of the show. What's going on, everybody? Speedy Bizzle. Jeff, this is getting old. I'm starting to get irritated. I couldn't give a shit. What do you think if it's getting old? Then don't fucking watch.
Apples. You could eat the apples off of my dick. Not off my head. The head of my dick.
Sammy, you got just everybody loving you in this chat. They completely agree with you. And Xavier James dropped in and said,
There he is, Xavier James. That's funny. Let's hear that again. Oh, that's funny.
Everybody loving you in this chat. They completely agree with you. And Xavier James dropped in and said, your interview with Patrick is the highest interview still, I believe, at over 22 million.
It shows on Xavier James. What a nincompoop. I mean, of course it is, Xavier. It was the first interview Sammy ever did. Of course it's the biggest. Stop making it out like Sammy's so powerful because you did the biggest interview. It was the first interview you ever did. Xavier James, it's amazing. This guy, I cannot believe this guy has this much like love for another man. Like he's in every chat. Like it's amazing.
Views.
And the first interview I did, I gave him the courtesy. I did it. I got 22 or 23 million fucking hits. It's one of the biggest ones he ever got. And the guy does that. And every time you asked me to come down, I came down for you. You asked to do Mafia States of America. I took my whole team and we went to fucking California in the fucking mountains and did it.
All right, guys, that's it. I'm done with that. Let's all kind of come together here and let's talk to some of the commenters here. Larson Game, what's going on? Rudy Casson, I'm fairly new to the genre. Great channel, great job, bro. I like that you don't put up with shit. Thank you, Rudy Casson. I appreciate that. I'm never going to put up with shit. If you have a comment or question, feel free to drop it here in the chat. I appreciate it. What else do we have here? Yes, this is K Walker, the rapper from South Philly. Being from South Philly, I grew up around Joey, so I'm into this genre. I support and subscribe to your channel, Just Breaking Balls. Thank you, K Walker. I hope you're still here. I appreciate you, my man. You're a good man. I always remember you from years ago. You were always on DVDs, K Walker. I remember well. Shout out to you, bro. Hope all is well. By the way, K Walker, if you're still here, is Frank with the Grip is Gone still around? That was my boy. I used to love Frank. He was that dude. Frank with the Grip is Gone. Cree Forge, that was my guy. Cree Forge. Forge was big time Tasker back in the day. I was big into that scene, K Walker. Shout out to you, bro. I really appreciate you being here, man. I could talk to you for days about this. Hope all is well. I hope you're still here. I'd love to know if Frank with the Grip is gone. Is he still around? I used to love all those guys. Stifler's mom, $5. Happy New Year, Jeff. Thank you, Stifler's mom. Appreciate you, love. Thank you for being here. I know that's not really Stifler's mom, but thank you for watching. If a fly landed on Sammy, he'd tax the fly. Yes, he would. Yes, he would, Pete the Greek. Yeah, he does. He thinks he's the YouTube boss. What else do we have here? You can't sit at my lunch table. Yeah, that's what it is, basically, Andrew. It's like you know, it's this little private crap. Oh, you can't sit with us if you talk to him. It's like, get a fucking grip. Carlo's children, Thomas, Joseph, Carlo Jr., and Phyllis. Yeah, I didn't even know he had a son called Carlo Jr. Nady, do you think Sammy has generally gone crazy? I mean, yeah, there are points where I do think that. Absolutely. I mean, that video, yeah, it definitely seems like that. Sorry, Toby. I was trying to get through that there. What else do we have going on here? Sammy is pissed off. Yes, he is, Jennifer. Yes, he is. Well, that's what he sounds like. It's like you're not part of the Little Rascals anymore. You got to get out of here because we don't like what you're doing. Give me a break, man. By the way, I want to shout out my friend at RJ Roger. Go check out his book, The Don, 36 Rules of the Bosses. I promise you, it's one of the best books you'll buy this year. Make sure you check out The Don, 36 Rules of the Bosses. We've over 1,000 people in here. Everybody go check out the book right now. You can get it wherever you buy your books. I promise you will like it. The women on Sammy's podcast are airheads. Yeah, they definitely sound pretty odd for sure. A lot of comments in here tonight. A lot of people. By the way, I want to update you folks on what is going on. The Detroit Lions are up 40-28. Wow, what a wild game. Big game for Jared Goff yet again. Really impressive. But it's pretty brutal because I'm in my fantasy championship right now, and I'm going to lose because this fucking clown, Jake Bates or whatever his name is, I mean, 2 missed extra points. Just fucking brutal. Totally unbelievable. I'm actually going to lose my fantasy matchup, the championship. Pretty crazy. If he'd have made that, I probably would have won. But I'm going to lose 156.48 to 155.08. Pretty crazy. My fantasy championship. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. How sick is that? I mean, Isaac Garendo gives me fucking literally nothing tonight. Brutal. I mean, if Garendo can score, I mean, they're in the red zone. If they could somehow score here, if it's Garendo, I can win. I need a late touchdown from Garendo. They're in the red zone right now. But it can't be Kittle. It can't be Kittle. God, this is so brutal. I'm actually going to lose by a fucking point. How sick is that, guys? How sick is that? So brutal. What is going on here? Yeah, I'm going to lose. I'm going to freaking lose. Oh, my God. We have a shot. Garendo. Come on, Garendo. One time. Please, Garendo. Please give me one. One time, Garendo. I need Garendo. If Garendo gets this touchdown, I win. I win my fantasy. One fucking time. Give me Garendo. One time. One time, Brock Purdy. One time. All right, guys. We're going to root this in here. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. Oh, my God, man. Come on, please. One time. Give me Garendo. One time. Is he even in the game? No. We're going empty. No. Oh, no. There he is. Come on. Give me Garendo. One time. Please. No. All right. We got another shot. Second and goal. Wait, where is Purdy? Why is he not in the game? What is that, Purdy? That did not look like Brock Purdy. Come on, guys. I need fucking Garendo. What's up, Danny Green? I don't give a shit. I do give a shit. Why is Brock Purdy not in the game? What's going on here? Oh, please, come on, man. Give me a bullshit touchdown to Garendo. No. Get there. Fucking hell. I'm really going to lose by a point? That's so sick. What the hell, man? Really? Oh, man. What are you going to do? Well, I get paid either way. I'm not going to win first, though. That's brutal. I mean, that's pretty sick that Bates misses 2 extra points. Brutal. What's up, Jesse Roth? That's brutal. That's fucking brutal. A lot of people in here tonight, man. A lot of people. Kay Walker says, yes, he is. Oh, I'm glad he's still around. That was my boy. I liked him. Do I think Sammy believes his own stories? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely he does. I cannot believe, man, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe I lost this fantasy matchup by a couple of points. And this fucking clown, Bates, misses 2 extra points. Sick. Sick, sick, sick. Josh Dobbs, of all people. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, he missed the extra point. That's crazy. 3 missed extra points in the game. 900 people in the chat. Shit, we had almost 1,100 at one point. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to wrap this thing up. I've been on for over an hour. I think we got through what we wanted to get through tonight. Disappointing, though. I thought we'd have more people as far as, supporters. We got a couple of donations. Shout out to the people that donated. I appreciate it. Stifler's mom, Snake, Mike DeBella, my man, Chris, DJR, Frank Fiordolino. I don't think I shouted that out. Thank you, Frank. $20. Appreciate you, bro. JT Mana, $5. Had a lot of people in here tonight. I hope you guys show love if you can in the future, because this is an hour of my life, and I probably won't get this show monetized, unfortunately, because we played someone else's content. So I wish if you enjoy the show, you will support us. It means a lot. Us creators, sometimes we need a couple dollars. It means a lot. And I'm not afraid to say that. I don't do this for my health. So if you enjoyed the show, feel free to show love. I'm out of here, though. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great New Year. I will be going out tomorrow night. So I hope if you do, you stay safe. I hope you enjoy your New Year. And yeah, I have a new video coming out on Saturday. You're going to want to enjoy this one. This would be a good one, I promise. So make sure you check that out. I will see you all again soon. Thanks for the support. Later.